We have a variety of NHL news from around NHL training camps here today, plus we have some more RFA and trade rumors to discuss as well. We'll get into all the latest news coming up next. So welcome back here to Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have a lot of news items coming around the NHL. Training camps are officially underway. Players are on the ice. Of course, most players had to report yesterday. They were doing physicals and testing and that type of thing. And today, many players are hitting the ice for the first time with their new teams. And there's all kinds of tidbits of information from around the league. So let's jump in here first with the Vegas Golden Knights. We did learn that Ryan Reaves has been injured and has been for a little while. Was injured during some off-season training. So he likely is going to miss all or most of training camp. He's not able to take part in their on-ice activities right now. I guess they're still optimistic he'll be able and ready to start the season on time. But for right now, Ryan Reaves, it looks like he's going to be missing training camp for Vegas. Now jumping over to the Winnipeg Jets, we have a couple of different news items here. First of all, defenseman Dustin Byfuglien has been granted a personal leave of absence from the team, and of course right now because it's personal, they're not really saying a whole lot. We did learn that it was nobody in his family was in serious danger or health or anything too serious, but obviously where it's personal, we're likely not going to get any more details than that. Not quite clear how long he's going to be gone, but hopefully for Dustin Byfuglien's sake and the Winnipeg Jets sake that he's not gone too long and doesn't miss too much time. With all the other guys they've lost in that blue line, having him out for any kind of period of time would be a major blow to that team. So hopefully everything is good with Byfuglien and his family, and he can return to training camp hopefully in the very near future. We also learned that the Winnipeg Jets have invited forward Emile Poirier to camp on a professional tryout. Now we have a few items out of the Dallas Stars organization. Of course, we had discussed previously during the offseason that it looked like the prospect defenseman Julius Honka likely wanted a fresh start, and there was some rumors going around about that. That has now been confirmed. General Manager Jim Nill did acknowledge the fact that Honka has officially requested a trade as of yesterday when training camp begun. So they've apparently been working all summer to try to find a trade for him. He still does not have a contract either. He is a restricted free agent. He was given a qualifying offer by the Dallas Stars. But he has not yet signed it as of right now. I'm not quite clear exactly if he's going to be participating in any camp activities. I wouldn't think so without a contract. But they are actively trying to find him a trade, get him a fresh start with another organization. So I guess we can now confirm that trade rumor from the summer. The newly signed Corey Perry in Dallas is not off to a great start here with his tenure at the new organization. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks' time. It was being reported that he had like a broken foot, but apparently it's some type of a fracture of a bone within the foot. He's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks' time. So obviously this isn't the start Corey Perry wanted. I'm sure it's not the start the Dallas Stars wanted. That is going to cause him to miss most of training camp here in a lot of the preseason action. So we'll see how the reevaluation goes in a couple of weeks' time, but not a great start to Corey Perry with Dallas. Missing from training camp today as well for the Colorado Avalanche was a newly signed Valeri Nichushkin, and we did later find out the only reason for that was there was a delay with his work visa, but all of that is being sorted out and he's apparently on his way now. So if you do see any reports of him not being at training camp, there hasn't been any other issues. He is indeed still with the team. It was just a work visa issue, and he will be reporting likely in the next day or so once he arrives, now that his visa's been sorted out. 2019 first-round selection and top prospect for the Chicago Blackhawks, Kirby Dach. Apparently he's in concussion protocol near the end of the rookie tournament in Traverse City. Apparently he did take a big hit and apparently has been suffering some concussion symptoms. So that's obviously not the type of thing you want to see happening to anybody, especially a brand new top prospect like Dach, who was just drafted this summer. It certainly has a ton of potential for the future for the Blackhawks, so that's unfortunate news for them. Obviously, when it comes to concussions, you just really don't know how the symptoms are going to go and how things are going to persist or how quickly they will go away. So it's not really clear how long he's going to be in protocol and how long he's going to be out. But clearly, that's not the way he wants to start his training camp here with Chicago. So we'll update further once we know more about his condition. Now back to some potential trade talk here. Now, of course, we know the Tampa Bay Lightning have an abundance of goaltenders. They did acquire Mike Condon from Ottawa on that Ryan Callahan deal. They also still have Louie Domingue. Obviously, they got Andrei Vasilevskiy. And, of course, they signed veteran Curtis McElhinney, who right now is projected to be the backup to Vasilevskiy at the NHL level. So that kind of leaves guys like Mike Condon and Louie Domingue, who both have a fair bit of NHL experience, kind of, battling for that number 3, number 4 spot. And at this rate, would both end up going down to their American Hockey League affiliate. Apparently they are interested in trading one or both of them, at least one of them anyways. And right now the plan is for September the 21st to place them on waivers. They'd have to clear waivers to be sent down to the minors. So at that point, if they're still both with the club, that's what will be done. It's hard to really say at this point if another team would put in a claim or not, depending on how they're evaluating their own goalie situations by that point of the preseason and training camp. But apparently there has been some trade interest on one of them. Probably Domingue would probably be the more likely tradable goalie, in my opinion. Obviously, Condon had not a good year last year. It only played a little bit. When he did play, it wasn't good. Spent most of the other part of the year in the minors and injured, where Domingue actually had a decent season for Tampa. But of course, I guess they're feeling like they had an opportunity to upgrade over Domingue with McElhinney. So clearly there has been some trade interest. So we could see one of those two goalies be traded before the September 21st date, which we would then see them go on waivers to go down to the minors if they're both still with the franchise. Now, as all these NHL teams get into their training camps, a lot of their training camp rosters have been released here over the last day or two, and there certainly were a few more professional tryouts that have been announced or that I hadn't previously been aware of. The Carolina Hurricanes have brought in Freddie Claesson on a professional tryout. Of course, he was mostly with the Ottawa Senators in his career, but was with the Rangers last year. So, of course, the Hurricanes need another defenseman. They do have plenty of strong D in Carolina, so it's hard to imagine Claesson getting an opportunity, but you never know. Maybe they would decide to sign him to a two-way contract and he could help their AHL affiliate. It's certainly a possibility. He would be an excellent AHL defender at the very least. The New York Rangers have Michael Haley, of course, who was formerly with the Sharks and before that with the Panthers, bounced around a little bit, mostly known, for being a physical type of player. They also have Connor Berkeley in camp as well on a professional tryout, so we'll see if either of those guys can crack the roster, but I do think they're both going to be in tough with all those, top prospects that they're going to be battling for spots with. The Dallas Stars do have a couple of veterans in their training camp as well in professional tryouts, including Stefan Nason and Scotty Upshall. Upshall did not play last year in the NHL. Nason was most recently with the New Jersey Devils. Certainly had a bit of a resurgence in his career over the last few years after getting started with Ottawa. Didn't really get a lot of opportunity. Bounced around a little bit, but did find some decent stretch of time there with the Devils. We'll see if either of them can crack a spot in Dallas. In the Minnesota Wild also have veteran Drew Stafford in their camp on a professional tryout as well. Of course, Stafford has bounced around a fair bit and has actually gone to camp numerous times over the last few years. We'll see if he can land himself a spot with the Wild. Now, we do have some more RFA updates as well. We heard from Pierre LeBrun indicating that the Tampa Bay Lightning and Braden Point apparently are really not all that close to a contract at all. Apparently, there's still some big gaps there that need to be, closed, and they're not really anywhere as close to a contract for Braden Point. We did see some more updates as well on the Mitch Marner situation with the Maple Leafs from NHL insiders like Chris Johnson, Darren Dreger, etc., indicating that some progress has been made on the Marner front. Now, of course, they did not say the deal was imminent, so it's hard to say exactly where things are at. I know Pierre LeBrun chimed in and thought a nice compromise between the Leafs and the Marner camp would be a 6-year deal around $10.5 million. We'll see if they end up with anywhere near that. I mean, right now it's believed the Leafs would prefer a 7 or 8 year deal, where the Marner camp is pushing for a shorter term deal, most likely a 3-year term. So I guess we will see, but apparently, according to the insiders, progress has been made, and we'll see if we can get any closer to getting a contract sorted out for the Marner saga with Toronto to finally come to an end. So that is all your latest NHL updates for today. Of course, as always, want to know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section, so let me know what you think and we'll continue the conversation. If you're new to the channel as well, consider subscribing and turning on your notifications so you don't miss any future videos, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.